So I'm now like in the Xcode world, and you're using a lot of these terms, and I feel like I'm following along pretty well because I'm watching you, and I get it, and it's kind of like an immersion. I feel pretty good about it. At the same time, I'm seeing terms around Xcode, and I'm just like hearing you kind of go past terms. Is there anything like I'm hearing like Cocoa Touch, SDK, framework, or do I need to know what all that stuff is, or can I kind of just like watch by example, or is there, I don't know, help me out.
Okay.
Like
Sure.
what do I need to know? Is there anything I need to know that you're not telling me? Tell me.
I think right now, the only thing you really want to know
Yeah.
is the distinction between the Swift language and the vocabulary that we're using in the Swift language to build
Okay.
the app,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So Swift is a language which is independent of a lot of these classes that we're using, like UI color, UI view controller, UI tab bar controller, etc. And it's just important to note that Swift is a language that you can do lots of things with, and the thing that we are using it for is to write an iOS app, and in doing so, we're taking advantage of a lot of libraries, frameworks that Apple has created, right? So UI color, UI view controller are words or names of classes that exist within code that Apple has written that we use to do what we want to do.
Gotcha.
And that body of code is called Cocoa Touch.
So there's classes are basically definitions, like it's a lot of code that Apple is like, you can call with one word, something like that. Like I can be like, UI color is one, right? And so they define that, and you're saying Swift is different than the words that they're defining?
Swift is the language you can use to interact with a UI color object or the UI color class.
Right. So I kind of get this, but like, if someone doesn't understand this right now, like, is it important to know, or is it kind of just like is that important?
You don't really,
to
but I mean,
know?
I think the minute we dive into writing
Yeah.
app delegate, for example, someone is probably going to say, what the hell is UI window,
Yeah.
right? And
I saw
UI
that.
window isn't
Yeah.
like necessarily part of the Swift language. UI window is an object that Apple has created, just like we're creating a start view controller.
Right.
It's an object that Apple created, and it is part of the Apple frameworks.
So Apple gave it to us.
Right. It's
Kinda.
it's a class. It's a tool that Apple has created. It's part of
Okay.
the Apple toolbox, and we're using it to do something in particular,
I get it.
if that makes sense. So
That very much makes sense.
we're going to make our own tools, right? We make
Right.
start